You just heard the entire interview of Mr. Nabam Tuki. And I'm amazed that a man does not even know the figures and the facts. See, the Congress was elected with 42 MLAs and they had the PPA merged with them. So there were 47. Now 47 as they stand today, they are only 16. 15 to be correct.
Right.
They are only 15.
Right.
A government has been installed which has only the support of 15 MLAs. I do not know whether constitutionally there is a state government which can run with the support of 15 MLAs in a house of 58 now, because 2 have been disqualified. So that's the position stands today. See, what has happened is that the Supreme Court has redefined what are the powers of the governor. Let's put things in the perspective. At the first place, I mean, I heard Mr. Tuki blaming Narendra Bhai and Amit Shah ji. I'm amazed at that. This is neither a BJP government, nor they have merged with us. There is a PPA government. It is their rebels. And
his accusation is you instigated that rebellion. Sir, his accusation is you instigated that rebellion. And you in particular, Mr. Mittal, were responsible for instigating that rebellion. It's a direct accusation against you, sir.
No, he never named me, and I had nothing to do with it. So let's not
I'm saying that.
No. So your statement is incorrect.
Completely incorrect.
Here the issue is there were 14 MLAs which were disqualified by the Speaker, Mr. Rabia, just to ensure that the strength of the House is reduced, so that they can manipulate the majority when there was a rebellion. This order was struck down by the High Court under under instructions of the Supreme Court. So he's talking about 14. You know, there were 28 MLAs who were continuously staying in Delhi, trying to meet the Yuvraj called Rahul Gandhi, so that they could articulate their grievance against Mr. Tuki. Do you know, for 6 months, they were not even given an audience.
So how does that matter?
6 months.
How does that matter?
How
does that matter? What does the BJP got to do with it? What does the BJP have to do with it if a bunch of MLAs are not managing to meet the Congress president or vice president?
That is what I'm trying.
That is where the accusation is against you, sir. That's the accusation against you, that you were trying to fish in troubled waters, Mr. Mittal.
Bhupinder, that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. It is the rebellion which comes out of the misconduct of their Yuvraj. That if you humiliate your MLAs and if they rebel,
you've shifted the goalposts very clearly. For that? You've shifted the goalposts very clearly.
I mean, the rebellion is theirs.
Okay.
The misconduct is theirs. The Yuvraj does not have time to meet their MLAs, and you want to blame us.
Let's hear from Mr. Keswan.
You want to blame Modi and Amit Shah.
How ridiculous and how... Sir, the Supreme Court of the country today has given an order, and that order has to be understood in its entirety. It has to be understood in its entirety that the governor's decision is not acceptable to the Supreme Court. Now the allegation is that you influence the governor.
What has the Supreme Court said?
You influence the governor is the allegation against you.
No.
Let me hear.
That is not the allegation. What does...
No.
Just 1 minute.
Sir, that's the allegation.
The Supreme Court has only said...
Yes.
Bhupen, can I comment?
The Supreme Court has said that the order of the governor to prepone the session is illegal.
Who made the governor take that order? Who made the governor take that order?
The governor takes the decision himself.
Well, that's where the game is.
It is an order which the governor takes.
C.R. Keswan.
Bhupen, can I comment?
Yes, please. Mr. Keswan, respond to the point being made there that the Congress still doesn't know what's happening.
I didn't interrupt the BJP spokesperson. I'd like the same reciprocal civility here. First thing is, we totally welcome this historic judgment, because you're doing the same by saying
go
that.
Ahead. No, go ahead.
The Congress party wholeheartedly welcome.
Let me first tell you, Bhupinder, I don't know whether you know that there are 2 former Congress chief ministers who still are governors. You have S.C. Jamir, who's a governor of this in this government affairs, and J.B. Patnaik.
Right.
So talking about political governors and all that, I think the Congress would best explain how their presence is non-political. But I am coming to more substantive issue. I think let us look at the judgment and let us look at the realities. The reality of Arunachal was that there was a rebellion within the Congress. And they were in minority. The government of Nabam Tuki was in minority. So in order to subvert minority, what the speaker did was to disqualify 14 MLAs, which has now been subsequently struck down by the High Court under the supervision of the Supreme Court. So the illegality started with Mr. Tuki's government itself. Secondly, what is the judgment? The judgment says that the governor does not have the powers to summon the assembly.
Right.
He should have asked the Chief Minister. The order of the governor preponing the assembly is illegal. Well, the Supreme Court has interpreted the powers. So be it. If there are legal remedies,
so you're making a distinction.
Why
you are making a distinction. You're making a distinction between the act of the governor and the fact that there was dissidence, there was rebellion which was taking place. That's your point. Okay, let me hear from Bishwajit Bhattacharya. Where is the point that you're making?
Just one more, just one more. There is a fact also which must also be borne in mind.
Tell me. Then I'm going to Bishwajit. 1 second. Let's just hear from Sudhanshu and then come to you, sir. Yeah, tell me, Sudhanshu.
Why was this preponed? This was preponed primarily for the reason that constitutionally it was provided that for the purpose of removal of a speaker, a 15 days notice was required. A 15 days notice was duly given.
Is Sudhanshu Mittal shifting the goalposts? Is Sudhanshu Mittal trying to impose a lie on this country when he says that there has to be a distinction made between what the Supreme Court has said today and what the allegation is against the BJP?
You see, the question is that this is not a BJP or Congress issue. Mr. Sibbal today may be claiming lot of credit for this, but even Mr. Sibbal's party has in the past abused the position enormously. So therefore, it is not a BJP versus Congress issue. Every incumbent previous government has abused. So therefore, full credit to Supreme Court. Now the question for consideration is the status quo ante sends a solemn message. So this is a watershed. 13th of July 2016 is a watershed in the history of India.
As well as the lawyer who's on the program. We heard there from C.R. Keswan. What about you? What about you, Sudhanshu Mittal? Since your party is in power, do you believe maybe time has come for us to have a debate on this question, sir?
Firstly, the presidential notification is struck down consequent to the governor's preponing the assembly. So these are all subsequent consequential acts which have been struck down. So the core issue was the power of the governor. The Supreme Court has redefined the power of the governor. It has said the governor does not have the authority to prepone the session. That's it.
But should there be a debate? Should there be a debate, sir, on the parameters of Article 356 itself? Because, you know, the reason why I'm asking this question, Sudhanshu ji, is that constantly this debate keeps getting repeated after every couple of years. Whether it's a Congress in power, whether it's the BJP in power, the debate is the same. So why have that clause then?
You know, Bhupinder, there is a share which I recollect, which is very pertinent. ये ज़ब्र भी देखा है तारीख की नजरों ने, लम्हों ने खता की थी, सदियों ने सजा पाई. These are all provisions which have long-term repercussions, ramifications. And when you look at the responsibility of the state, you see, I always say that 356 must also be read in context of 355. And let me just read out 355 to you, because then you will understand what is the importance of what is the gravity. See, 355 says it shall be the duty of the union to protect every state against external aggression and internal disturbances, and to ensure, now mark this, that the government of every state is carried out in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. So there is a constitutional responsibility on the center which has been given under 355. It's not an option. It is a mandatory responsibility. So 356, when you say should be removed, 356 is a consequence of the constitutional responsibility on the center. I always welcome a constitutional debate.
Bhattacharya, please explain to me and my viewers. A lot of my viewers on Twitter and Facebook are asking me a simple question. You were giving me the example of 2004-2005 of Bihar,
in which the apex judiciary has asserted itself to uphold the trust of 125 crore people. It is a trust of the people which the apex court is enjoying today. Unfortunately, that can't be said about other wings of the government.
Appeals to the judgment also.
Okay.
A quick point, please.
Yes, Mr. Yes, Keswan.
I didn't answer the 356 point.
Mr. Keswan.
Quick point, please.
Yeah, Mr. Keswan. Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to make a quick point because I didn't address 356. See, 356 was put in by the founding fathers, you know, the greatest and the finest minds and the legal minds of our time. So if you want a review, that's another question, because it was put in for a purpose. But you know, when you talk about president's rule being abused again, you know what my worry is, Bhupen, there has now been a proposal by this government before the election commission of having simultaneous elections. You know, have all the elections together. Imagine if you have all the elections, all the state governments elections are held together, and you know, like Uttarakhand and Arunachal, if the central government topples a party government and opposition government, for 5 years they can have their rule, central rule. Therefore, that is very scary. Therefore, if you have these simultaneous elections and you topple a government like this, it's a big worry.
Mr. Mittal, so I think how do you address the biggest question?
With all due respect, say.
I just put up these three questions. You know, Sudhanshu ji, I can sum up those three questions and be very straightforward with you. Is it not true, sir, that the BJP, you are struggling to deal with that perception that you are a party and you are a government which is behaving in a very, very dictatorial and an authoritarian manner? How are you going to deal with that perception, sir?
No, but that perception doesn't exist.
It exists.
Because it's not
but it exists, sir. But you look at, sir, Uttarakhand.
No, it's an allegation.
Uttarakhand,
allow me,
Arunachal, you know, in Kashmir, the allegation is that you are trying to, you know, look after your own political interests.
Now, which political party does not want to look after its own political interests?
But at whose expense?
But
at whose expense?
So, allow me. That's what I'm saying now.
Subverting the constitution.
You are talking about which you are talking about perceptions which are not there. These are allegations from Congress which actually wants to deflect attention from its own failures. You see, they have a leadership which is failing to contain their own elected representatives by humiliating them, by being insensitive to misgovernance. And they want to blame us for that. Look, you have to allow me to finish. You know, you have to be inward looking. If that was the intent, we would have had a BJP government in Arunachal, which is not a BJP government. They're not even a part of the government. They have not joined us. They've joined the PPA. So please don't blame us for that. What I'm trying to tell you is, allow me. See, you have to understand that if these things would have to happen, if we had these grand designs, we would have tried for bigger states. You know, big states where there are substantive issues relating to how they would benefit and strengthen the center. This is not.
I can't believe
these are states which
Arunachal is a serious state. It's a border state.
I think,
to finish.
No.
Have manners.
I'm appalled by this. You know, how can you distinguish between states? Bhupen, I'm appalled. How can you distinguish between states?
You have
29 states.
Please, no crosstalk. Thanks so much. The problem with political spokespersons is to work out a consensus from a television debate becomes very, very difficult. But I'll say this to you, after listening to all these three parties, you know what I really want to do tonight? And if you're watching television this evening, do try and Google position of the BJP and Congress way back in 2004, 2005, when the Jharkhand story and the Bihar story was at its peak. And what had happened